Good morning, students. Welcome to Academy online classes. Standard 10th, Subject Science, Chapter number 6, Life Processes. Yes, so we have done with autotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, and yesterday we did about the process of photosynthesis, that was absorption of light energy by chlorophyll, conversion of light energy into chemical energy, and then the last step we did was reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates. Okay, so some of the topic we have discussed in autotrophic mode of nutrition, but still I will explain you certain topics so that your concepts gets clear, like where is this chlorophyll present. Okay, how exactly the process of photosynthesis is taking place. So there are some steps, some levels to explain more. So I'll just explain some of the points which I think you should know before going to heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, so let's start with that topic. Yes, so yesterday we did about photosynthesis. Yes, now let me quickly revise. First, you know that the process of photosynthesis is taking place in leaf of a plant. Okay, so if we see the section of a leaf, inside the section of a leaf, you will see a diagram which is drawn by me over here. Okay, so you can clearly see that a leaf will have the outermost layer which will be called as cuticle. Okay, and this cuticle will be of waxy in nature. Okay, then the second layer will be epidermal layer. Okay, which you can see I've drawn here. Okay, so a single layer of epidermal will be present. After that, that is just below that, which I have drawn with pink, these are what your mesophyll cells. So inside the leaf, if we cut the leaf, we will see a structure which will be shown here. That will have a cell which is called as mesophyll cell. So you can see the cell. Okay, the dot which I have drawn, okay, a simple dot, that is the chloroplast. Okay, that is the organelle. Now I think so you must have studied in your ninth standard that a cell is there. Inside the cell you will be having nucleus and different organelles will be present, so we will not discuss. My main point of view to explain you that in this cell again you will have nucleus, you will have different organelles, and specifically you will have an organelle which is your chloroplast. Okay, so inside the mesophyll cell of a leaf, the chloroplast organelle will be present. So you can see all the dotted structure. All the dotted structure are chloroplast. And inside that chloroplast, the process of photosynthesis is taking place. Okay, I think so this is clear. Now move to the structure of chloroplast. See why I am explaining you, because a connectivity should be there. What you have studied in your ninth and what you are studying in 10th, it should be connection. That means you have studied about cell, the structure of cells, the structure of chloroplast, and the process of photosynthesis which we are studying. So how this is connected, that we will study here. Okay, now I have drawn a structure of chloroplast. A structure of chloroplast, first of all, is a double membrane structure. Okay, having the outer membrane and an inner membrane. Okay, so it is a double membrane structure. Inside that, you can see green color structure. Okay, so each green color structure which I have drawn is your thylakoid. Okay, each green colored structure is a thylakoid, and a stacked pile of thylakoid means many thylakoid. If you put one above the other, it will give a structure which is called as grana. Okay, so single unit of grana is thylakoid. When thylakoid comes together, it will give rise to a structure called as grana. Understood? Now come to the next thing. That is, all the grana will be scattered into a fluid filled material which is known as stroma. Okay, the dot which you see, what is that? That will be a fluid filled material is called as stroma. Okay, and each of the grana are interconnected. You can see I have joined. So that means that all the grana will be interconnected. Okay, and that is known as stromal laminae. So this is the basic structure of chloroplast, which is found in mesophyll cells, and mesophyll cells are present in leaf. So the photosynthesis process is taking place inside the leaf. Now, we are continuously talking of one thing, that the process of photosynthesis is taking place with the help of a pigment, that is your chlorophyll. Now, where are these chlorophyll present? You must be thinking, okay, we have talked about leaf, cell, chloroplast, structure of chloroplast. We have not talked about the structure or presence, where exactly these chlorophyll are present. Now, my point was that only to explain you where are these present. Now see the thylakoid. Okay, each and every thylakoid which I have drawn, you can see I have made dots. Okay, so on the surface of thylakoid membrane, okay, you can see I have drawn these circles. These are what? Thylakoids. And on that thylakoids, I have drawn the dots. So on the thylakoid membrane, the pigment chlorophyll is present. Okay, I think so now it's clearer. Chloroplast is made up of double membrane structure, outer membrane, inner membrane, and this is filled by a fluid filled material which is known as stroma. Inside the stroma, or in that fluid filled material, we have a single structure which is made up of thylakoid. And when we put that thylakoid one above the other, you will get a structure which is called as grana. Understood? On the thylakoid membrane, this chlorophyll pigment is present. Now move to the next topic. That is, yesterday we have discussed about the events. Now why I am taking this again? Now I will explain this 3 point with reference to the chloroplast. That means we know that this process of photosynthesis is taking place in chloroplast, where exactly all these 3 processes taking place. Okay, first process, that is the absorption of light energy by chlorophyll pigment. Now where are the pigment present? They are present on the thylakoid membrane. So light energy will be coming on the cells, and this light energy will be absorbed by chlorophyll. So you can see I have made one over here. So this one means all the light energy is coming on this chlorophyll pigment. Understood? Now second point. What is the second point? Second point is conversion of light energy into chemical energy. That means the light energy which is coming, that will be converted into a chemical energy. Now which chemical energy? That is our ATP. Okay, adenosine triphosphate. Adenine, what group will be there? With that group, 3 phosphate group will be attached. So it is triphosphate, having 3 phosphate group. Okay, so that means the light which is coming on the thylakoid membrane will convert that energy into a chemical energy, and that energy will be in the form of ATP. Understood? Now third one. Third one is the reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate. Okay, so the energy which is formed in the form of ATP, that energy will come into the stromal part, or you can say they will come into stroma, and inside the stroma what you will have? We will have carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide will be converted into carbohydrate. Okay, C6H12O6, which is glucose. Okay, so this is the main three events of photosynthesis which is taking place in chloroplast. Okay, now we'll further move. Yes, now again coming to the equation. Equation we have studied yesterday. Now again I'll recall. That is 6 molecule of carbon dioxide. It will combine with 6 molecule of water to give rise to 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecule of oxygen. Okay, now where are we getting these molecules? That is the carbon dioxide and water. Okay, now we are getting carbon dioxide. Now see, carbon dioxide is a gas. Okay, what is this? This is gas. So we are getting carbon dioxide from atmosphere through stomata. Okay, so carbon dioxide we are getting from atmosphere, and water, as I told you yesterday, we are getting water from roots. Okay, and how we are getting it? By xylem tissues. Okay, again tissue system you have studied in 9th. So from this xylem tissues, the transportation of water is taking place from the roots towards the leaf, where the process of photosynthesis is taking place. Okay, so that means during daytime, stomata should be opened so that carbon dioxide enter into leaf. Okay, and secondly, the water from the root should come towards leaf from the xylem tissues, and it should reach the leaf, and like that both of them comes toward your chloroplast. That is, carbon dioxide will enter into chloroplast, water will enter into chloroplast, and there the process of photosynthesis is taking place, which will give you a compound known as glucose and energy along with oxygen. Okay, now the glucose, as I told you yesterday, that these glucose molecule will be absorbed and will be utilized. Oxygen, okay, the oxygen which you see, this will be the byproduct, and this will be removed through stomata when the stomata are open. Okay, so you must be knowing that the plant or the leaf, they are taking carbon dioxide and they are giving oxygen. Okay, so it is the process of photosynthesis by which the leaf are taking carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen. Okay, so till here I think so you must be clear with the topic of photosynthesis. One more topic I want to explain here, which is given there in your textbook, that is the opening and closing of stomata. Okay, now you must be thinking where these stomata are present. So stomata are present on the basically on the lower surface of the leaf. Okay, epidermal leaf layer is present. On that lower surface, this stomata are present. Now these stomata, they are made up of a bean-shaped structure known as guard cell. Okay, so what is this? This is the bean-shaped structure. Okay, which is known as guard cell. So you call it as guard cell. Now what is happening? The opening and closing of stomata is done with the help of movement of water molecules. See how it is taking place. When during daytime, what is happening? Water molecules are moving upward and the process of evaporation is also taking place. Okay, so in the stomata, what is happening? The water molecule is going inside this guard cell. Okay, so when the water molecule is going inside the guard cell, the guard cell will swell. It's obvious. If something will enter into, what will happen? It will swell. Okay, so what are they? They are just the cells, but they are specialized cells. And as they are specialized cell, we have changed the name as guard cell. Okay, so what this will do? They will absorb water molecule and at the end what will happen? They will swell. So when they will swell, they will pull this structure outward. Okay, see, the outer membrane of guard cell is very thick. Okay, these are the outer membrane. This is very thick. So this will not move. The inner surface of the guard cell is thin. Okay, very thin layer. So what will happen? They will swell. And ultimately what they will do? They will pull the thin wall outside. Okay, they will pull outside. And as it pull outside, the stomata gets opened. Okay, and this swollen structure is called as turgidity. Okay, so when it opens, what will happen? The molecule will enter inside. Okay, which molecule? Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere will enter into the cells. So the stomata will open, that will allow the carbon dioxide molecule to enter into the cells. Okay, now opposite of that, that is opening of stomata and closing of stomata. How the stomata will closed? this structure, that is the guard cell, will shrink, and as it gets shrink, the stomata get closed, and as it gets closed, carbon dioxide will not be allowed to move inside. Okay, so stomata will be open, okay, during daytime. So during daytime, the process of photosynthesis is taking place. And why it is taking place? Because continuously water molecule is moving upward, which allows the stomata to open. As a result, carbon dioxide will enter into, and as carbon dioxide is entering, along with water present, the photosynthesis process will take place. Okay, now during night, stomata is closed. So no exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen is taking place. And the photosynthesis process is not taking place during night. Okay, so I hope you understood this topic. So opening of stomata allow exchange of two things. That means carbon dioxide will enter into and will do process of photosynthesis. The end product of photosynthesis will give us oxygen, and that oxygen, when the stomata is open, will come out. Understood? So during daytime, photosynthesis is very important process in plant. It is not only making glucose or making carbohydrate, but it is also making a very important gas which help all the animals to survive. Okay, so this is a very important topic, and I hope that the process of photosynthesis, where it is taking place, how it is taking place, all the concepts are clear. Still, student, if you have any doubt, please call me, because this is a very important topic and only some of the things they have explained. Okay. Yes. So till here yesterday we saw in your notebook, and we did the three important points: absorption, okay, conversion and reduction. Okay. So now we'll just move further. Okay. These steps need not take place one after the other immediately. For example, desert plant take up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acted upon by the energy absorbed by chlorophyll during day. Now let us see how each of the component of the above reaction are necessary for photosynthesis. If you carefully observe a cross section of leaf under a microscope, okay, this diagram they have shown, you will notice that some cells contain green dot. These green dots are cell organelle called chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll. Okay, so you can see I have just explained you. This is the structure of leaf. If we cut the structure of leaf, what you will get? You will get a structure which is like this. Okay, so you can see the outermost layer, that is the cuticle, then the upper epidermis, and then this is the next layer of cells which I told you. This is the mesophyll cells. So these mesophyll cells will have the chloroplast. Okay, I have shown in circles. So these are all the chloroplasts. So in leaf, okay, the cells of the leaf will have more number of chloroplast in them, because this is the only area, okay, which is doing photosynthesis. But there are some plants where the photosynthesis is taking place in stems, in roots also, that we will not discuss. But in majority of the green plants, the process of photosynthesis is done by leaf. So inside them, the cells will have maximum number of chloroplast. Okay, this is your lower epidermis, and this is the area, okay, the lower, okay, this is the upper epidermis, that is on the upper side of the leaf. On the lower side of the leaf, you will have your stomata. Okay, so if the stomata are open, okay, you can see the stomata are open. So what is happening? The carbon dioxide will enter from these openings, and it will go towards the chloroplast. Okay, and once they have prepared oxygen, the oxygen will be collected and it will be moved out. So like this, the exchange of gases is taking place. Okay, now we'll move further. Yes, now let us study how the plant obtain carbon dioxide. Okay, how they have obtained carbon dioxide, this I have discussed, but still I'll just quickly read. Okay, in class 9th we have talked about stomata, which are tiny pore present on the surface of leaf. Massive amount of gaseous exchange takes place in leaf through these pores for the purpose of photosynthesis. But it is important to note here that exchange of gases occur across the surface of stem, root and leaves as well. Since large amount of water can also be lost through these stomata, the plant closes these pores when it does not need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Now they have explained one line, which I'll just explain you, that they are saying that large amount of water can also be lost through these stomata. Okay, you know that the stomata are open during daytime. Okay, and water has entered, so some percentage of water is lost through stomata, and that is known as respiration process. Okay, that respiration process we'll do later on. But the process of losing amount the water molecule, okay, that process is known as respiration. Okay, so some portion or large portion of water is being lost. Why? Because during daytime the pressure is more, and as the pressure of water is more inside, they will move outside. Okay, so water molecule will come out from stomata along with oxygen molecule. Okay, so when oxygen molecule are coming out from that stomatal pores, water molecule are also coming out. Okay, now the opening and closing of the pore is a function of guard cell. Okay, the guard cells swell when water flows into them, causing the stomatal pore to open. Okay, similarly, the pore closes if the guard cell shrink. Okay, this I have explained. So this is the opening. Okay, opening of stomata. Okay, stomata are open. So this is the stomatal pore which you see, and from this the gas will move out, oxygen, and carbon dioxide will move inside. Okay, these are the guard cells. You can see in the guard cells also we will have chloroplast. Okay, and this is the closed structure where you can easily see the pore is closed. Okay, so I hope you understood this topic very well. Okay, now so far we have talked about how autotrophic met their energy requirements. Okay, but they also need raw material for building their body. Water used in photosynthesis is taken up from the soil by the root in a terrestrial plant. Other minerals like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium are taken up from the soil. Nitrogen is an essential element used in the synthesis of protein and other components. Now, we have discussed about photosynthesis. So, along with that process, they require certain different molecules also. Okay, other material also, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, and magnesium. Okay, so that are taken up from soil. Okay, as the water is entering from the soil, these molecules also enter from soil. Okay, and nitrogen, which is very important in plant because they are doing the synthesis of protein. Okay, so protein requirement in leaves is fulfilled by the absorption of nitrogen. Okay, this is taken up in the form of inorganic nitrate and nitrite, or it is taken up as organic compounds which have been prepared by bacteria from atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so this is a process where atmospheric nitrogen, okay, atmospheric nitrogen is converted into nitrite and nitrate with the help of bacteria. Okay, this is a very simple technique. Bacteria will utilize the atmospheric nitrogen and they will convert this nitrogen into nitrite and nitrate, and it will be taken up by the plants. Okay, now with this we have finished with autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now we'll move to the next topic, that is heterotrophic nutrition. Now this heterotrophic mode of nutrition, you must be knowing that this is the process, or this is that process where they are not preparing their own food. Okay. Yes. So heterotrophic nutrition. What it is, that those organisms which cannot synthesize their own food, that means they cannot prepare their own food, they are dependent on some other organisms, maybe autotroph or some other organisms, but the main thing is they cannot synthesize or they cannot prepare. Synthesize means they cannot prepare their own food. Okay, so in heterotrophic organisms comes three different types. Okay, this is not given in your textbook, but you must have studied in your previous class. I'll just go through it. Okay, so heterotrophic organisms basically are of three types: saprophytes, parasites, and holozoic. Okay, now what are saprophytes? Saprophytes are those organisms. Okay, they are those organisms which depend on dead and decay organisms. Okay, once the organisms are dead, okay, on them certain other organism will come and they will eat them. So that will be the food for that organism. So those organisms which depend on the dead and decay organisms comes under saprophytic mode of nutrition. Okay, example, basically main example is the fungi. Okay, so they are saprophytes. Next comes the parasitic mode of nutrition or parasites. These organisms depend on another organisms. What they will do? They will get attached to other organism and they will use their energy, and that energy will be in the form of food. Okay, These parasites can be ectoparasites or endoparasites. Okay, ectoparasites means parasites which get attached to another organism from outside. Okay, I think so. You must heard the example of a leech. Okay, what leech is doing? It gets attached on our feet, on our body, and they will suck the blood from us, from other organisms also. It is not necessary human. Okay, so what the leech will do? They will get stick on other organisms' body and they will suck the blood from them. So that leech is a parasite where they are dependent on other organisms and they will utilize their energy. So that is ectoparasite. Likewise, endoparasite will be those organisms that will be inside the other organism's body. Okay, they will move inside and they will utilize the energy within the other organism's body. Okay, like example are tapeworms, roundworms. Okay, they will grow inside the body of other organisms and they will grow there. Okay, the third is holozoic. Now, what is holozoic? Holozoic is when we are consuming or when the organisms are consuming the part or the whole organism as it is, then it comes under holozoic mode of nutrition. Understood? So, I think you understood the three important types: saprophytes depending upon dead organism, parasite depending on other organisms, and holozoic which are consuming the complete organism. Okay, we humans are basically holozoic where we consume either the whole organism or the part of that organism. Okay, we are directly consuming them. So the human basically comes under holozoic, the cow, okay, buffaloes, all of them are coming under holozoic mode of nutrition where we are consuming certain small parts of the whole organism. Okay, so this is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So I hope today's lecture will be very useful to you, and tomorrow we'll again move further with our topic, that is heterozoic mode of nutrition, how exactly this heterotrophic mode of nutrition is getting nutrition from other organisms. Okay, thank you.